Hey, thanks so much for being here, Dave Munsey and Troy Hayden. And you know, we've got a hurricane getting ready to bear down on Hawaii right now.
A couple of them.
And so Dave is going to be forecasting that throughout the rest of the day and as we go forward. But the reason we're talking to Dave today is the very last hurricane to hit Hawaii directly was back in 1992, right, Dave?
It was 92, September 11th.
Okay, and the reason Dave knows that so well is because you were there. So,
I was there.
Okay, so you make a trip to Hawaii, and now we've got some pretty good forecasting models, and you've been telling people all week, hey, be careful because there's a hurricane getting ready to hit Hawaii. But you didn't have that information when you went, correct?
Well, we didn't have the same kind of information. Plus, this hurricane came off of southern Mexico. And so it was way south. It was 1,000 miles or more south of the islands at that time. And it was headed absolutely due west. Absolutely. And it made a 90-degree turn just south of Kauai and started heading directly for Kauai and made a direct hit, totally covered the entire island.
Okay, so you saw it coming and you made a couple of interesting moves that I think it's going to be interesting to share with people. So tell us about some of the things you did when you saw that hurricane bearing down on you when you were in Hawaii.
Well, I was actually at another hotel in their pool, and we were all over there, the party I was with, and I was watching the TV because I was interested in the hurricane that was way south of us. And all of a sudden I noticed that it was making a turn. It was making a 90-degree turn toward Kauai. And at that moment I said, we got to get out of here, out of the pool I meant, get back to our rooms and make some sort of a plan to shelter ourselves. And at this time, nobody on the island was talking about this. They were talking about a hurricane south of us, but not that it was going to impact the island. So we started doing that, getting our clothes, getting all of our things together. And I said to Bun, we have to go over to the store. So we went to the store and we stocked up on water, we stocked up on bread, crackers, peanut butter and jelly.
Things that would last without having to be refrigerated and
right,
things.
Wouldn't have to be refrigerated. Plus they had a lot of protein. It was things that you could eat. They would be filling every day. I filled the bathtub full of water. I went down and I got 2 coolers and I filled them full of ice and I stocked them in the room. But the most important thing I got was money. I went to the ATM and I hit the ATM 2 days in a row. I hit it twice. I had about $1,500 cash on me, and that really saved the day after the hurricane. Because after the hurricane, you're on an island, there's no electricity, your credit card's a piece of plastic, your checkbook are pieces of paper, but money is cash.
And money talked for you, was able to buy supplies.
Did everything.
So we're looking at some pictures now. So this was your hotel, correct?
This was our hotel, yes.
And the roof, from what I can see here, is just gone.
Mostly gone, mostly torn off. We were on the 2nd floor, so we had a roof over. We were able to move back into the hotel, even though it was destroyed.
Wow.
There was no windows. All the glass was out of the windows. And our room was on the 2nd floor, and it was full of sand.
Let's go to the next picture here. So here, let's look at this picture. So it looks like we've got some people out.
This is trying to catch the bus. Now they're trying to catch a bus, and this bus is going to take them to the airport. Bunny and I didn't even try to get on this bus because we knew there was chaos at the airport. This was a tree right in front of the hotel right
Okay,
here.
they're going to take it right now. So let's go to this next picture. So, I mean, this is one of those beautiful, are they called banyan trees? What do they call it? Something like
that's
that.
one of the big
so
ones.
So it's a beautiful big tree, and look at that thing just pulled out by its roots. Go ahead and take a full screen so everybody can see that there. So you're posing in front of that. Where was this tree?
That tree was right in the driveway of the hotel. As you drove up the driveway, that tree hung over the driveway and shaded it. It was like a little tunnel that tunneled up to the hotel.
All right, let's see the next one here. You got some great shots here, Dave. Okay, so you actually had to ride out the storm. Okay, so now let's fast forward a little bit. The storm is bearing down, and what happens?
Everybody is told they have to get out of the hotel. Everybody has to go to the shelter. That's my father-in-law right there, sleeping in the shelter. He could sleep anywhere. That's not a problem for him. But yeah, sound asleep in the shelter right there. And there we are. That's my wife, my mother-in-law, and myself. As you can see, we were a different affiliation back then.
Right. Let's hold on to this picture here, and let's take a full screen if you can, because this is interesting, Dave. So you're inside a big concrete gymnasium.
Yes.
But you said that wasn't even enough for you. If you guys can take this full so everybody can see that there's a piece of plywood over your heads here. So, we just missed that shot. Anyway, there's a piece of plywood over your heads, and the reason you did that was why?
We made a shelter within the shelter because the windows were blowing out, and there was glass flying all around the room. So we took some horses, some sawhorses, put plywood over the top of them, covered that with blankets.
There we go. Hold on to this one right here so we can see that.
And then several of us got underneath it, and that was our little shelter within a shelter at that time. Nice and cozy under there.
So you were basically protecting yourself against breaking glass?
Yeah, there were pieces of metal, there were mostly glass, but there were also some lockers in there. And those lockers were falling apart and pieces of them were flying around too. Yeah, it was a very harrowing experience inside because you think you're safe in there, and then as the whole room just started exploding.
Yeah, you told me, okay, so you're inside this big concrete, basically a shelter, and what happened when the storm actually hit? How long were you in there, and what was it like to be inside there?
We were in there for a couple of hours, and it was, well, it was very crowded in there. And before the storm hit, it was very congenial. People were visiting. Oh, I saw you over at such and such. Oh, yeah, I know you, blah, 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 that. And then when the storm hit, it got very quiet. When the windows started blowing out, kids were crying, people were screaming.
Oh my gosh.
It got real harrowing. One of the back doors blew open, and there was a big caterpillar or something in there. And a couple of the guys got on, started it, and they backed it up against the back door that had blown open. It was one big, huge tractor that blew open. And so they did this. So it was a lot of things going on at the time. But I will tell you this. The best orange and the best ham sandwich I ever ate in my life came from that facility. Boy, I still remember it to this day.
You're hungry and probably happy to be alive. So,
yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and wrap this up. So if you had to give one piece of advice to somebody who was in the situation, is going to be in the situation that you were in back in '92, what would you tell them?
Well, there'd be a couple of pieces of advice. I don't think there's just one piece of advice you can give somebody for something like this. First of all, water. Get water. One thing you're going to really, really need is water. Disasters like this destroy the water supply. Get water. As you know, in Hawaii right now, they're out of bottled water.
Right.
You can't even buy bottled water. The other thing is get some food source. Like we got the bread, we got the peanut butter and stuff like that. But I really, really go back to the cash. I didn't know at the time what I was doing. I just thought, get some money, get some money. I was one of the only guys that had cash money. And I mean, I was buying everything for everybody. You couldn't get in line at the Safeway store, which was all broken down. They had guys running through the store getting things for you. You had to pay them $20 to get in line.
Well, you had to pay them $20 cash.
Yeah, cash.
Very interesting stuff, Dave. So if you're heading to Hawaii, some things to think about. And thanks for watching this. More coming up on Fox 10 News later on tonight.